everything.
And maybe how those are evaluated and where the accountability is in those programs.
What?
You're giant. That's awesome.
I know, yeah. For Minnesota, 3 hours.
That's true, that's more than any out of state.
Mining, manufacturing, and minerals, is it? Oh, okay.
I have sort of a question about this, that, just to clarify, to throw something out. When you have study sessions, what is the purpose? Do you want, because I think this will steer what happens, do you want an overview, which would be kind of, this is what we do and we're really good at it, or do you want these groups to bring you problems?
I think, well, my understanding from the board, you guys can certainly clarify me, is that they want an understanding of their role. They want an understanding of how the operations are working. What do we do if things aren't working? What are the things that we have absolute responsibility for, or, ultimate responsibility, and so we need to understand how it works. So that's, like fiscal.
Right.
I think a lot of it, because we've got 3 new board members, a lot of it is training. Okay.
Information.
Information. But what you just said, I want to know about this.
I do too.
So
And
give me an example, Michelle, of a problem.
Well, it's one that I don't really even know how to put up there, but you're so open, so that I'll just say, I'm retiring at the end of the semester, so I'm going through the retirement process. And I have other people that are retiring on campus, and they're kind of coming to me, and what do you know about this, what do you know about that? And for example, the whole retirement date, people have a lot of questions about it here. And it turns out that we don't get much information from our HR. And I was talking to my husband, who has already navigated through all this, and we were talking about how there should be a checklist and that people would know. And so that kind of thing, that's an issue.
Yeah.
So and I only know
So
about it because I have it. It's happening to me.
has anybody talked with our Vice Chancellor of HR?
No, and that's what I'm thinking. That I
That's where
wasn't.
the problem goes.
So-
And if she doesn't solve it, I want to know about it.
So this is what I want to know. So if somebody sees a problem, whether it's a faculty member or it's me or anybody, so the problem should, so I say to
Yeah.
her, this is kind of a problem, I think you need this.
Yeah.
So it isn't, what you're saying is that's not something for the board to know about. Okay.
I mean, they'll know about it if I realize that some things aren't getting done and there needs to be a process for.
Well, I wonder, because I'm only retiring now, and I just wonder what the last.
Retiring is a huge issue for people. It's probably,
Scary.
well, it's
Yeah.
scary because, you've made up your mind, your career is done, you're going off and doing your second career. I agree with what James said, put it back where it needs to be. And I would say, for me, since I have some knowledge in this area, we need to change. If we don't have someone that's already been to training through CalPERS or CalSTRS on assisting employees navigating the process, let's send them off and get them trained, bring them back, and then that way we can identify, okay, how many people are retiring in 2017, and we can do sessions to set those people down with PowerPoint and help them to navigate the process and to help to understand it. That would be easy to do.
Right. I think, so what,
I see what you're saying.
yeah, I mean.
So this is different. This isn't where the problems come up. This is mostly information.
Right, if we don't have an institution where you deal with the problems right at the source, we've got a dysfunctional institution. And that's what needs to be fixed. Because if as a president, everything comes to me because nobody else does anything, well, guess what? I'm not doing my job to make sure that people are doing things. If as a chancellor, there's operations that are in my area that aren't doing what they should.
But I would say to you, what I would say is that in some ways we are dysfunctional. For example, a year ago, we brought up the issue at a board meeting in the February or January board meeting of enrollment management. And, well, here it is, and rightly so, because it has not been addressed. So in some ways.
So when you say it hasn't been addressed, I know that there's all kinds of things going on that connect to trying to, enhance our enrollment, student success is enrollment. So when you say nothing's been done.
Well, nothing new has been done. A lot of people had ideas. We invited the team, the president's team, to the academic senate. Some of the trustees had ideas, some of the faculty had ideas, and really the idea was, well, we're already doing this and this and this, but we don't have necessarily teams going to the high schools, teams that have, we don't have some of the new ideas. What I'm saying is, some of these things have been complaining about for a long time. So where's the,
Michelle, here's what I want to make sure. I want to make sure that you're right. I think that you do have people that are going out to the high schools. I think that
you have
there's counselors,
specialists, you have specialists and counselors,
but
but you,
faculty members, for
Right.
example.
yes.
That's, and also faculty members that are connecting with the baccalaureate institutions. I mean, if you have a physics department that's closely connected with this physics, guess what? Those students are going to, you know, get accepted.
So when we have our study session, we can, you're gonna be here, you can bring others with you, in the room, and we can talk about where is it working, and how we can improve it. and
So
make
you'd
it
be open
better.
to that? That's what my
Absolutely. What I'd like
Okay.
first, though, is
Yeah.
I'd like to have the two presidents, you know, give what's going on the campus in enrollment management right now.
What I'd like too is transparency. I mean, I don't want presentations to be just, you know, having all the warts removed and everything filtered and purified, and here's this wonderful happy picture. I want reality.
So what happens, okay, I agree with you, but here's the thing. My sense is that there's parts of these institutions where people don't feel safe calling attention to problems. You know, faculty, that's one group. Administrators are at will. And if you have an institution where administrators can't say, you know, I've been trying to do this and it's just not working, and they can't say that to their supervisor, and I can't tell you, you know, we're having problems there without people thinking, oh my gosh, they just don't know what to do. You see what I'm saying? What I've heard is a lot of us and them. I mean, we need to all be in this together, whether we're administrators, faculty, classified, you know. And I haven't gotten that sense. I've gotten a sense that it's,
So once again, for our enrollment management, we will talk about where we're hitting where we need to be, and bring people here, and we can talk about how we can make improvements, and we'll talk about and bring ourselves up to date on what was talked about in the past. Perfect way to get all that out there.
Absolutely.
Yep.
and it's all seen as part of the learning process.
Absolutely.
Because this is a learning organization. We're all learners, and so, and we support people who, you know, step out, and sometimes they make mistakes, and we say, okay, you know, come back to us, let us know what it is you found out and what you need to do differently, or what you're doing differently.
I have a bunch of ideas.
Okay,
Because
get 'em out here.
Pass the
So
time.
fiscal, definitely, the presentation on how we're funded, and then where we are in February. Okay.
I believe that we need to have this would be closed session, a session on negotiations, because we've got 3 new board members. We need to talk about what it is that we want negotiated,
Yes.
what the board's stand is on whatever's out for salary, workload, you know, whatever, all of that.
Mhm.
We need to understand it and give our input, because that's an area that I have not been confident in, that the board desires what all this.
Again, and that, as long as people understand that that is very confidential.
Oh,
That,
it'd have to be closed
yeah,
session.
I mean, we're, yeah.
And we have,
Yeah, I heard that.
Another thing is that we need to have a study session on how to evaluate the chancellor. And what I have in my mind is Jane will be here for 6 months, possibly if we can't find someone, maybe longer. We haven't talked to her about that. But
I never leave the place that
we need to talk about, sort of, she'll be our guinea pig, to work out an evaluation with her, but train us to how to, because this is something that has not been a strong suit of the
No.
board ever since I've been on it.
Could I would like to suggest, I really felt good about this, if it can be part of like a retreat. Maybe we bring in another
Fine,
chancellor and
fine.
board member who, I know somebody who's been doing it all over the state.
Yeah, that's a great idea, and we
Okay.
can do several things on the day of retreat.
Okay.
Also, I know that Leslie, you were interested in discussing a master calendar.
Yes.
Because like, there are times like people are gone, we don't know it, and kind of like to.
Just kind of knowing
But
where
again,
people are and what they're doing.
that's operations, you guys. I mean, I need to know, and the presidents need to know.
But we don't always know when the chancellor's going.
Okay, so that's different.
You know.
You want to know what your employee is doing.
Yeah,
Okay.
and,
I'd rather not have that study session, than just say I heard that.
okay, that's fine. Right, now this is one that I'll throw out there, it may not, we're gonna have a lot, we may not have time, but I'd really really like to have a discussion, a study session on summer 410 versus 5-8. I really would like to talk about the 4 10-hour days in the summer
Oh, right,
versus
yeah.
5 8-hour days.
Yeah, and I can bring you
I
some
agree with that.
information from other places.
So you think that's a good
that
thing to discuss? You, Secret?
Yeah, I do. I absolutely do.
We haven't gotten any statistics in the
There-
last while. have we?
There's a lot throughout the state. There's a lot of places that were 410, they said, you know, we're gonna save all this money and such, and it wasn't necessarily the case.
Well, we did get some statistics for a little bit, but we haven't gotten them recently that I recall.
I think that would be a good
Well,
thing.
especially since we brag about all of these new facilities being so environmentally good and leading.
Right, that shouldn't be an issue.
We need to look at how maybe we can, which way serves students best. That's what I want to know.
I really liked what you said about we need to evaluate everything in terms of how close it is to the classroom.
This board used to do something that they called a strategic conversation. And it was an opportunity with the board to listen. It was not anything where we would take any action. But sometimes if there were conversations, and maybe Michelle, you could help me out because you've been here longer than I have. But when we did the view, and it was a long time ago, we had huge audiences come, and they were allowed to comment. We'd have to take a topic. It's not a time to take pot shots at the board. It's not a time to just bitch.
Take pot shots, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Constructive.
Constructive criticism.
Mhm.
But it provided a sense that the board cared about the concerns for a certain topic.
So you're talking about employees or constituents?
Employees. What, isn't
It was sort of like the way the president has, like a coffee hour, only it was the trustees. And then all the employees were invited. And there was often a topic, which was something that was perhaps coming up on campus, and then they were invited to bring
I mean,
up
I
questions and
think,
concerns.
yeah, okay. Someone's done?
So that's pretty much my one.
And what about strategic conversations with constituents?
Well, I think you could do it under the same umbrella because employees are constituents.
No, they're not. Not in their role as an employee, they're employed.
Well, correct. I mean, I'm looking at it in the.
So we can talk, if we're looking at, it, we want constituent feedback.